Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Boardroom Beats. I'm your host, Amreen Mulla, and today we are diving into the dynamic world of cybersecurity in the banking sector with Mr. Bhaskar Rao. Mr. Rao is the CISO at Bharat Co-operative Bank, a recognized digital banker and an acclaimed technocrat with extensive expertise in infrastructure and hybrid cloud solutions. Mr. Bhaskar, thank you for joining us today to share your valuable insights.
Thank you. Thank you for
Okay,
having me.
great. So, sir, let's get started right at the foundation. Could you explain how banks are typically aligning their cybersecurity strategies with the regulatory requirements that are set by the RBI?
See, first of all, I would like to say as far as the cyber security in the banking concern is one of the major concern. Why I would say because we are directly connected with the customers, we are directly connected with the money. So wherever the money is there, everybody try to attract it. And BFSI is one of the hot sector where hackers are continuously working on some way or the other. And you can hear many things are coming out in the social media also. One bank or some the other bank or financial institutions are being attacked. So ultimately, thing is that banking is one of the area where hackers are very active and they keep on doing a lot of things. See, as far as the regulatory, that is a secondary thing I would say. But in cybersecurity arena, there are many things which banks are doing right now to protect their infrastructure, to protect customer interests, to protect the application which are deployed in the bank as well as which are being offered to the customer. Because ultimately, this is the responsibility of the bank to give a secured environment to its customer also. So many things are happening, and it is there. Uh, As per the regulatory concerns, say we are governed by the regulator. So we have to follow all the norms as per the regulators, and we have to deploy everything which is mandatory to be done, whether it is uh, anything you talk about, anything and everything which is required by the regulator, we have to do it. So all the banks have been adhering to the regulatory compliances.
Mhm. Okay. So, of course, when you want to apply a lot of, like the new directives, compliance directives that come from RBI, there are some common hurdles that banks must encounter. So, could you talk a little bit about this and how, integrating those directives into the cybersecurity frameworks actually can happen?
See, basically, banks are governed by the cybersecurity framework given by the RBI. And every bank has to follow because basically these all are for the bank safety. And all those things which are defined in the uh, cybersecurity framework, every bank is working on it. And when we are working on it, many things we are integrating. And see, as far as my bank is concerned, we are one of the large cooperative bank, and we do a lot of implementation. And, a lot of things we have done. You talk about proxy, then DLP, then firewalls at the gateway level, EDR solutions, and in fact, the micro segmentation. The line, we have wanted to be done a line segmentation of entire network. What we have done is a micro segmentation, which actually uh, segregate to each and every server so that it makes the life of a hacker a little bit different, little bit difficult. So we have done the micro segmentation also. See, as per the regulator concern, all those things you have to deploy whichever is required by the regulator, and regularly we have to keep on updating all the firewalls, EDR solutions, all those things we have to do. That everybody is doing. But what else apart from that? See, regulatory compliance is only a baseline. The
Mhm.
bank has to work beyond that. That is only if you're doing for the sake of regulatory, then that thing that's not a security. Only you're doing for the sake of compliances. As
Mhm.
far as the bank is concerned, we have to work beyond that. We have to deploy a lot of things which is required to safeguard our interests as well as customer interests. So I think this we should go beyond that. Like I said, we worked on a lot of things like a DLP solution we have implemented, NAC solution have been done, then micro segmentation, as I said, we have done, including we are keep maintaining the record of users also, see who is doing what kind of accessibility we have given to them. All those things have been recorded and monitored. See, only cybersecurity is not only for the deployment. How you deploy, that is important. And after deploying, how you monitor. If you don't monitor whatever things you have deployed, then it's of no use. Only deploying doesn't make sense. After deploying, you have to monitor each and everything. Everything need to be monitored. Then only it is the proper utilization of the deployment, whatever you have done.
Mhm. So, like you said, regulatory changes are not it's the bare minimum, but of course, banks have to go beyond that.
So
So,
those things we have to do it. Anyway, we have to do it as per the regulator. But that is
mhm,
only a baseline thing. You have to think beyond that. Because
of course,
you know your infrastructure, you know your attack surface, you know what you have deployed. So sometimes you have to think beyond that.
of course. So, do you think, given these regulatory changes, there have been any recent innovations within the cybersecurity landscape that you think, is coming into action because of the new regulatory changes?
It's not because of regulatory. There are many things are coming into cybersecurity arena. Let's keep aside the regulatory thing. If you talk about cybersecurity arena, nowadays a lot of things are happening. See what happens? The kind of alert it generates. So it is difficult for a human being actually to look into the alerts given by them, monitor the alert because millions of alerts are generating. And at every level, whether it is a firewall, it's a NIC, it's a DLP or micro segmentation, everything is being generated. So, so there's a need of AI which actually which actually filter and give only those which are required and which are highly vulnerable, which need to be the action need to be taken immediately. So those things are required. Such kind of analytic intelligence is required. So cybersecurity definitely needs a kind of what you call uh, analytic intelligence, which will help the CISO, which will help the security personnel to minimize the burden and work immediately on those which are required immediate attention.
Mhm. I understand. So, sir, like when we think about banking, one of the major developments in the banking sector in the past decade has been digital banking. So, how has the rise of these services impacted the cybersecurity strategies? Since considering cybersecurity does involve a lot of things that are online. So, across the banking sector, how do you think it has affected the strategies?
See, if you see in last 5 years
Mhm.
since COVID-19 and you see today, the kind of digital transformation is huge actually. There's a huge transition have taken place. If you see entire world, the 40% of world transactions are being taken place in India. The complete transaction, 40% of world transaction, which is much more than that of entire Europe and America, if you all together, if you take it. The transaction, the way it has gone beyond expectation. Similarly, the attacks are also taking place. People are, there's awareness is required. See, thing is that today digital transaction reach to the village level also, rural level also. So some kind of awareness is definitely required. The kind of transaction took the way thus we took the speed. It is very difficult for the people who actually we are not aware of much into that. Even the educated people, lot of thoughts are taking place. People are just sending an SMS, taking the remote control of the mobile and executing the transaction. So even the educated people are not aware of many things which are happening in the industry. So definitely one thing is that there's a very great need for the creation of awareness among the customers, which is one of the major requirement in the industry, not only at the city level but in the rural area also, because a lot of transactions are taking place in the rural area. You just scan it and make the payment. So such kind of things are happening. So a lot of awareness is required. Those things are there. From bank side, this is our responsibility to give a safe and secured application. Whenever we are rolling out any application, then we should do the vulnerable assessment. We should do the source code assessment. And application security need to be done. The server level VAPT has to be done. Even a security wrap to the application, which before downloading into the mobile, it should actually scan the surface. And if the surface is clean, then it will be able to download. Otherwise, it should not allow to download. So some kind of security wrap comes for the mobile application also. So you should integrate those security layers along with the application so that whenever anybody is downloading, it will scan the surface. If everything is all right, then it will download and start working on it. Otherwise, it will not allow to execute the application. So
Mm-hmm.
such kind of security layers required because this is ultimately bank's responsibility to give a safe and secure environment to the customer. As I said, vulnerable assessment, which are must for all the application. Whenever there are the changes in the application, that time we have to do. For every uh, half yearly, we must to conduct a vulnerable assessment. These are the basic things which the banks needs to do, and most of them are doing it. All those things.
Of course. So, of course, cybersecurity is not just the bank's responsibility, but also a consumer's responsibility to be aware and to learn more about these things. So that was quite insightful. So, like with digital expansion, what specific cybersecurity risks have become more pronounced, especially given, after the integration of UPI system and everything in India? This is something that is very localized to India and not abroad. So, what are the some specific cybersecurity risks that have become pronounced with such new technology?
See, one of the major risks, if you say, that is taking control of the mobile. What hackers are planning, they are taking a control of the mobile. They are sending an SMS, and once you click on that link, automatically the link goes to the other side, and the hacker takes the remote access of that application or the mobile. Then he can do anything because he got the remote access. He will get all the OTPs. He is able to see all the OTPs. He is able to access the entire mobile. If any password is mentioned in the mobile, he can see that. And using that mobile, he can execute the application and execute a transaction. This is one of the major challenge in today's arena, which is being taking place nowadays. And many people are not aware because even a person sitting and operating his mobile is also not aware what's going on behind, and somebody has taken control of it. So there are many instances like this happening. It's not only the rural area, even the city, the most educated people have been created. Another thing is that social media is one of the major areas where people are sharing the data. They're sharing the mobile number, sharing the personal IDs, those things. That is also one of the major area which is creating problem. Using a mobile number or using an Aadhaar number, even that is also vulnerable. People are targeting those people using their mobile number and sending suspicious links they are sending to the mobile or suspicious message they are sending on the UPI. So once you just respond, and they are targeting the people like that. So many things are happening, and see, this is one of the most see technology is advantages for you, but similarly, it is more disadvantage for you also because if you use it safe and secure manner, then
Mm-hmm.
it is very advantage. Because nobody like to go to branch nowadays. The industry changed. Everybody want the transaction on the move. Even I have not visited my branch for so many years. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants transaction on the move. But the moment what is happening, if you have to be alert on that, and you keep your mobile safe and secure, and don't link on anything suspicious, and use social media carefully because so many things are there on the social media. So that need to be taken care of it and create an awareness in the customers. That is also one of the major area which is required, and this is the bank's responsibility to create an awareness within the customer.
Of
So
course.
many things are happening like that.
Mm-hmm. So, looking into the future, what trends do you foresee impacting cybersecurity related to banking regulations and digital banking? So, like we in the past decade, we had the uprising of UPI usage and digital banking and everything. So, moving forward, what else do you see that we new to the banking sector, and hence the cybersecurity teams will have to strengthen up?
Yeah, I think according to my knowledge, the industry has already moved very far. and the days is not far behind. That ATM will become a box actually. It may not be maybe 5 years down the line. The ATM may not be that useful. It might become like a kiosk actually, because the cash transactions have come down drastically. The volume of digital transactions went beyond 80, 85%, somewhere it's a 90%. So ultimately, the transaction level is gone huge actually. And the physical transactions are coming down. So again, bringing back customer to the branches is a difficult task. Maybe UPI is one of the area where people are targeting. People are using at every level. Even a Pani Puri wala, you can scan and make the payment of 20, 30 rupees. So such kind of scenario which is happening only in India, nowhere else you will find. So we are far ahead of anybody. It is going to happen, but one thing is that cash is definitely, it has come down, and definitely it will come down drastically. Maybe in the 5 year down the line, the role of ATM will not more than a kiosk. That is what I feel.
Mhm.
So this is what my take on.
Okay, that was quite insightful to see that in the future, maybe ATM, because even now I do notice a lot that the ATMs are not particularly used. Rather, they use UPI to make all the payments and everything. So no one actually holds cash. So that is quite, uh, eye-opening right here. So, sir, thank you for sharing your insights with us today. It has been incredibly valuable for us. We deeply appreciate you taking out your time to, share your extensive knowledge and perspective with us. So, thank you for joining us on Boardroom Beats.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so to our viewers, thank you for tuning into another enlightening episode. Keep following Boardroom Beats for more in-depth conversations with industry leaders just like Mr. Bhaskar, as we explore into the crucial intersections of technology, security, and finance. This is Amreen Mulla signing off. Thank you.